Hey YouTubers, welcome to my channel. I am Varsity, and today's topic is the 5 things that I learned in university. So now, good people, I finished my degree last year and I really enjoyed my degree. For those of you who want to know what I studied, it was psychology and communication science. So now, before I get into the 5 things that I learned at university, I just want to tell you that university, first of all, is no child's play, and that you basically are responsible not just for your future but also for your time at university. Now, people come and go. There are people that I started university with who sadly I won't be graduating with. There are some people that I started university with that I haven't seen since maybe after 2 or 3 years that they were there at university, or even like a year after we had started together, I haven't seen them. And yes, life does happen, you know, but that is that, and we need to make do with the situations that we find ourselves in. So now, if you find yourself at university, please do use your time wisely. Please do manage your time. Please know your responsibilities, your priorities, and always remember why you started going to university. And who feel pressured to just go with what's trendy at university. Now, if you are a fashionista, that's okay. There's nothing wrong with following trends if you are like, a fashionista. But now, good people, please remember that you need to be yourselves, and that the best thing is to find friends who complement your morals and your values, because there's no point in compromising yourself just to fit in with a group only to regret years down the line that, hey, I wasn't myself, I wanted to fit in, and you find yourself with serious consequences. I'm just trying to caution you that please do take care of yourselves and people. You know, my motto at university was that if I can't find genuine friends, I would rather be alone than be amongst the wrong crowd. Moving on to the 5 things that I learned at university. The number one thing that I learned in university, and that I'm still learning now, is to prioritize God. Basically, to put Him first in everything that I do. Now, there were times when I wanted to take matters into my own hands when people were getting things that I didn't get, and I'd be like, you know what, God, it's long overdue. Why do I not have what someone else has? And then the times when I was taking matters into my own hands were the times whereby I was settling. Hey, like I was settling, and God made me realize that the reason why things didn't work out when you were taking those matters into your own hands was because you were gonna settle, and it's because it's not time for you to get those things, and most importantly, to humble me, to prioritize God. Because when I went in search of those things, when I was taking matters into my own hands, I wasn't putting God first. I even got a prophetic word from a friend telling me how I was neglecting God and my relationship with Him because I went in search of things that don't matter. So I'm glad that I got that prophetic word. And most importantly, I'm glad that God spoke to me through a friend telling me that, hey, put me first. Make me your first love. You know, so yes. And then with number 2, I should have worked on my confidence sooner. Yes, people, for the most part of my life, I lacked confidence. I thought people were better than me. I was living in constant fear most of the time. And I only started working on my confidence when I was 20. Something hit me, and I was like, at 20 years of age, you gotta now start working on your confidence, because if you don't, you're always going to live in fear. You're not gonna go after the things that you want. You're not gonna go after the things that you deserve. You're not gonna be able to, stand up to people because you're lacking confidence. So yes, so now many years after that, I have seen the product of actually having confidence and going after what I want. And now I can tell you that I am able to go and perform poems because I believe in myself. I am able to go and start conversations with strangers because I have confidence. I am able to even start this YouTube channel because I have confidence. And I thank God for telling me at that age to start working on my confidence. And then number 3, attending home cell more. The more I attended, the more I learned spiritually and the more I grew. Now, people, it's not enough to go to church on Saturdays or Sundays and at conferences and all of that. Attending conferences and church camps, that's great, but you also need to prioritize going to church during the week, whether you go to church services, whether it's Bible study groups, whether it's home cell, you just need to prioritize going to church or meeting up with fellow worshippers during the week. Reason being is because it's very easy for us to act holy and to go to church on Saturdays and Sundays, and then the rest of the week, you are not focused on building your relationship with God. You are not focused on praying to God during the week. You are not focused on worshiping God. And church services and home cell and Bible study groups during the week help us to remember, hey, I need to work on my relationship with God. I need to work on being a better Christian. I need to allow God to work on me to be a better Christian. And what I realized at home cell is that you are held accountable at home cell and you can be held accountable at home cell. Home cell and church services are there not just to teach us, but also to groom us into who God wants us to be. And it's also a perfect time to go and discuss any serious issues that you have with your pastor or with your fellow church members, rather than wait for Sabbath day and then you go and discuss your issues. So, people, I emphasize, please do attend church services and home cell or Bible study groups during the week because it makes a major impact. I notice that when I go to home cell, that there is a change in me in how I conduct myself during the week and for the rest of the week. And then tip number 4, a degree isn't everything, and not everyone gets to use their degree in their current jobs. Now, this is a sad reality, but it is what it is. We go to university and not everyone gets to use the qualification that they obtained in their current jobs. I've heard of numerous stories of people who would have studied whatever it is that they studied and they end up working elsewhere because either jobs are scarce in what they studied or for whatever reason. But I believe that God is redirecting those people who end up in such situations. And if it happens to you, please pray to God, put your hopes in God, trust in God. And this is a reminder for me too. If this had to happen to me, I need to go and pray to God and trust in Him because He knows what's best. Hey? There's a reason why that would happen to anyone, and God knows what's best. Hey? And everything will work out. Then the last tip, mistakes don't define you and neither does your past. This one was a personal struggle for me for many years. Me being the perfectionist that I am, I always strove for perfection and I like to get things right the first time around. And I like to learn from others' mistakes, and I also like to ensure that I don't repeat the mistakes that I did, which is a good thing. Nothing wrong with that. But God spoke to me and told me that the only perfection that you're going to find is in Jesus Christ. It's not going to be in people, it's not going to be in you, it's going to be in Jesus Christ. So each and every single day, when I feel like I want something to be super duper perfect, I have to look to Jesus and not to myself, not to my perfectionist ways, but to Jesus Christ. And your past doesn't define you. People will tell you that once you've done something wrong, they'll try to remind you of it and try to tell you that you cannot change from that. You can change. Don't allow people to tell you that. It doesn't matter what wrong you did. It doesn't matter what it is that you did, whether you were into drug dealing, if you were into sugar daddies, whatever, like it really doesn't matter. As long as you repent, you forgive yourself. Forgiveness is very important. And you give yourself grace. Hey, because God's grace is like you can't even measure the amount of grace that God gives us. So now, fellow people, please give yourselves grace, hey, because God has given us so much grace and He will always give us grace. And why can't you do the same for yourself? Give yourself grace. Tell yourself that, hey, you know what? You've done things that you're not proud of, but move beyond that. Give yourself grace. Love yourself, hey. Love yourself and just, you know, learn from the mistakes, learn from your past, and move on. People, very important, let go and let God. Stick to being in God's will. Do not try to get out of God's will. And people, just give yourselves grace. And so that is the end of my video. If you have any comments, please post them below. You can also email me your comments. If you have anything personal that you want to discuss, please feel free to do so and I will get back to you. Thank you so much for tuning in, and I look forward to discussing more topics with you guys, and I look forward to sharing more poems with you. And enjoy the rest of the week, and I love you, and I'll be praying for all of you.